The Aloha Hour with Johny and Dewey.
Every time I look for the guest response, and then it's every single time. It's like, yeah, that smile comes on.
That's the way to get it.
Yeah, welcome to Aloha Hour,
the
you.
Mahalo.
Welcome.
All right, let me make a short introduction. He is a multimedia personality, a recording artist, a rapper, and producer. He was the host of Hawaii's #1 night show on the radio for over 10 years called the Steezy Experience, now co-hosting the Morning Hawaii or Morning High with Rella on 93 FM. He is also a member of the Angry Locals and is known to have the most recognized laugh in the state of Hawaii.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let me hear the laugh.
Well, we getting there.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's good.
Everybody
Yeah.
that ever got stuck on traffic
Yeah.
knows this guy's laugh. 100%. So first of all, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, mahalo for having me.
Yeah, that's
excited.
a super honor to have you here. And I want to tell all our audience, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It's really important for us that we stay connected, that you know when we drop new episodes, so you can go check them out and support us.
Heck
Yeah. Kris Stylez, tell us a little bit about you. Start from the beginning.
Well, before we get started, before anything, I heard Dewey likes to look at ears, huh? So I think we're gonna show him a little bit of love today, just for you, my man.
Wait.
Just for you, a little bit of you. How you like this one?
Hang on. I think your bolo head's more better than your ear, you know. I'm
There
happy,
you
I'm
go.
happy.
All right.
Yeah. This is
Figured
for
that'd be a
you,
little bit better.
Tamua. This is for you, Tamua. This is for you, Tamua.
He started something.
Yeah, I know. You do have nice ears, right? Yeah, no, let's just look at it. Take it off again. Look.
Go.
It's flat, it stays
yeah.
back,
I
and
like
it can
it.
stick
I like
out.
it.
It's
That's
not
what's
like
up.
Dumbo, it's like the perfect size.
Yeah, that's.
Dang, your
I
girlfriend
think he
is
does have a
stoked,
fetish
bro.
for ears.
She'd be nibbling
Oh, yeah.
that thing every night.
No worries, that's her handlebars.
Yeah.
So.
Start from the beginning.
Yeah, first things first, I started rapping. That was my thing. I was, coming up, that was my dream. I wanted to be a top shelf rapper, superstar. So coming out of high school, that's all I wanted to do. So I
So you used to battle.
battling was one of the aspects, because back then you'd have to compete for respect, compete for
Yeah.
attention, and also sharpen your skills, right?
Yeah.
It's hard, especially for me, black is I'm not black, but rap is like a predominantly black culture.
Yeah, right.
So when you're coming into a room full of rappers,
Yeah.
you gotta extra represent, because
Yeah.
they're looking at you like, bruh, you gonna come in here to our cipher, you need to represent, right?
You got to bring something
You
to the
gotta be
table.
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
So for a long time I was rapping, I'd work and rap. That was my thing. That was what my dream was, and then along the way, radio kind of fell into my lap on accident. And then I started doing radio and rap, and I'll just continue to do rap. That's like my foundation for everything. And I've been rapping for since 14 and 38, 24 years?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, who were your inspirations? The 80s school rap? Is it what genre
Ooh,
is this? Come on.
So I came up in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay, shucks.
So
I'm too old for this shit, man.
well, you might know my very first inspiration was Bone Thugs and Harmony. Do you remember
I have no idea.
Boom, 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 boom.
Bone? Boom, boom, boom.
Shut up. I want to hear Chris. Shut up. I want to hear that.
No, I can't do Bone. They sing and rap.
Okay.
They're kind of like a quartet,
Yeah.
if you say, a bunch of singers.
Wow.
Who also rap. So it's
Yeah.
like rhythmic staccato.
Right.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to sound like them. And then I realized I can't sing. Then I moved on to Eminem, Jay-Z, your 50
Yeah.
Cent.
Ooh.
That was the era when I really got heavy into rap.
All right. Did you write your own stuff?
Wait, he never mentioned Tupac?
No, Tupac. I liked Tupac. I like Biggie more though.
Wow.
So Biggie was more of my guy. Because he painted good stories, and I was brought up into liking lyrics.
Yeah.
And writing. That was very important to me and my friends. And Tupac was cool. It was very poetic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Tupac's raps didn't have too much cleverness into it. You know, it was more of just a passionate. I'm a ball of fire.
Yeah.
You know, firing through a crowd, as opposed to guys like Biggie or the East Coast. They'd have like clever, witty stuff.
Yeah. That's so true.
When you were growing up in your household,
Yeah.
well, how many brothers and sisters and all that? How many brothers?
0.
No, your only child.
Yeah.
What was the music mom and dad was playing as you were, you know, 100 Butter Days, like growing up? And, yeah.
So
what was your influence? I'm curious.
In the very beginning, Hawaiian music was real prevalent in my neighborhood. You know, like Kalapana, you know, a lot of falsetto music. Of course, Israel.
What neighborhood?
Nanakuli.
Nanakuli.
Say it
So I grew up
again.
in
Be proud.
Nanakuli.
Yeah, West
I'm
Side.
always proud.
Yeah,
it's my
that's
jam.
right.
So a lot of Hawaiian music. And then in the 80s, you know, like, do you guys remember freestyle music? Like,
Kinda.
Party your body, like Stevie B.
Ooh, I remember Stevie B. You're too young.
I'm too
Stevie
young
B.
for that.
Like,
yes.
so freestyle music was real big back then.
You can sing, you know. What are you talking about?
I
You
cannot.
cannot.
You know, I cannot sing like real singers, you know.
Yeah.
But what else was really big back then? I remember Dre Day was real big.
Yeah.
You know, we used to get cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Regulate, Warren G.
Yeah.
Nate Dogg.
So mom and dad had Hawaiians, and then
So I lived with uncle and grandma.
okay.
So 2 uncles and my grandma, and one uncle had all like the Who hip tapes.
Yeah.
Hawaiian music came from like the neighbors.
Okay.
And then my other uncle, he would have like all like the pop stuff. So, you know, we'd have you know, like Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls.
Hey, don't make fun of Backstreet.
No, I'm a huge fan.
Stop.
Did you go to the concert?
No, I took my daughter though. Yes, I went because Gabby wants to go.
So did she want to go, or did you drag her to the concert?
Okay, I confess. I got
It's for
Yeah.
my daughter. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm a-
seriously, I like Backstreet Boys.
No, so am I.
Yeah,
Okay.
for real.
Who's your favorite Backstreet Boy?
Lance.
Lance. Oh,
Lance Bass. Hey, listen, no hate you. No hate. Listen.
When you start to talk about boy bands, that's where I shut, you know.
Yeah, I know.
this side of the room comes
Yeah,
quiet.
I
Yeah.
know. All right.
But yeah, so that, you know, I grew up with a wide variety of music.
So when you were in high school, all that, did you know what you want to do already? And then how was that being perceived by your family? Like, you want to pursue this whole music rap thing, and they're like, come on, Kris.
So for me, all they really cared about was that you know, I become self-sufficient, so I get a job.
Yeah,
So if you get a job, do whatever you like. You know, they weren't really heavy into pushing me into doing anything. You know, so as soon as I got out of high school, I had to get a job.
Yeah, I want to hear all those jobs that you had that you hate.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I want to hear them
Okay.
all. 'Cause those things are really powerful because it help us to really give us the courage to do what we love, because you go to work every day, things you
Yeah.
hate, right? Yeah, I want to hear those.
There's no joke. Right out of high school, I was fortunate to get a job at Jellies. You remember Jellies? Jellies is a music shop. So like they would sell like records, CDs, tapes, but you could also buy and sell.
Yeah, trade.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So at least you could put like if you're a up and coming artist, you could put your albums on consignment.
Yeah.
So I worked at Jellies for a year, and then I got to expand my music that way, and I had a gripe with the manager.
No.
Yeah, there's some kind of issue with the manager. He wanted to get rid of me, and then I came in one morning after going to the water park. No, one afternoon. I went to the water park, then I came to work, and he had thought I was stoned because your eyes are all dry, and he just said, "Nah, you don't look too well. Go home," and then he fired me that night. So I was like, the hatred, you know?
Yeah, what's wrong with people these
I
days?
don't know. I think he felt like threatened.
Yeah.
Because I'm a very like aggressive guy when it comes to getting what I want. If I'm trying to get from here to there,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there.
Yeah.
After that, I worked at Papa John's.
Woo!
Yeah, because I needed a job already. Yeah, and
right,
just so happened Papa John's was opening in Kapolei, which is
Yeah.
close to my house. So, rewind a little bit. So when I worked at Jellies, I didn't have a car, so I'd catch bus from Nanakuli to Pearl Ridge, which back then took 2 hours, 1.5 to 2 hours to get to Pearl Ridge via bus. Because I'd take one bus from the valley to the main road, then that bus on the main road that goes through every single neighborhood from Kapolei to Waipahu to Pearl City, all to get to Pearl Ridge. So I would literally commute for almost 4 hours a day to go to work.
Yeah. For minimum wages, I'm sure.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
then, yeah. Okay.
And then when I got home was the worst because I would, let's say I do a night shift from 4 to 12.
Yeah.
I'd catch a 12:30 bus home. Come about 1:30, I'm at the bottom of Nanakuli Avenue. I still have a solid half an hour uphill walk to get home.
Yeah.
Because there's no bus at that time that goes through my neighborhood. So, I mean, every day it was like that.
Oh, the grinds. I love the grinds. I love
The loose
the
dogs
grinds.
were the worst. The loose dogs that are running through the neighborhood. I'm walking up, and they just come running out of somebody's yard.
It's not a coolie. What do you expect?
I know. I'm just like... So, I learned to carry a rock. So bad. Because some pit bull come rushing at you. You're like, oh, man. But yeah, and then fast forward, I worked at Papa John's. I got a job there. It was brand new, so we started from the ground up for that specific store, and I worked there for a solid 5 years, 6 years.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I ended up becoming a shift manager.
Were you the dough boy? Were you the topping guy, or were you the one that's sticking it in the oven?
I was all of it.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
So I could do these tricks, and I would try to do these tricks for tips because the pizza making station is right in front of the cash register.
Nice.
So we're netting the dough, making the little round things.
Yeah.
And then you gotta slap it out. And I could slap it out, throw it, flip, spin. So I'll do all these things so that customers are like, oh, that's cool.
Oh,
Drop
the guy
a dollar.
legit. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Can you say slap it in again? Slap it out again.
Do you want me to say it with the earphones off?
Yeah.
A little
please,
half
yeah,
off
yeah.
here, a tease. You just get a tease. So you slap it.
Slap it off.
Flip it.
Yeah. Slap it off. I don't know. That's the best story ever.
But yeah, so I mean, I worked there for I became a manager, and how do I say it? During that phase of my life, because there wasn't enough money.
Yeah, could you give me a little perspective how old you are?
At that point, this is going from, I want to say like 19 through 25 of my age.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
This
mid-20s.
is-
Yeah, you
yeah.
still figure out your life.
Yeah, pretty much. And again, I'm an inspiring rapper.
Yeah.
And I was also grown up in I guess you would call them the streets, right? Like, you run around doing any kind of things for money, right? Or any kind of way to come up. So during that phase of my life, I was doing street things. Like, you could order a pizza, or you come by and you order a pizza.
Yeah.
And in the box, you'd get a pizza with a little gift.
Yes.
Right? And it would be a very expensive pizza, but that
Yeah,
pizza
yeah.
would come with a gift.
Yes.
Because you got to figure out.
That's an entrepreneur right
Yeah,
there. That's a
you-
business.
yeah.
That's a business.
Yeah, tell me now, who's not trying to light one up and eat a pizza at the same time? That's like it was genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah, so-
Genius. You were before your time. It was too early.
Well, now you could do it, right?
Yeah.
Most of it's becoming legalized. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
A
That's
real
good.
pizza shop. Okay, sorry, I guess.
Okay, no, it's good.
So so I, during that time, that's when I think management started catching on to some of the things I were doing, but they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't catch me.
Yeah.
Right? Like the whole idea is never getting caught.
Yeah.
They had ideas, and there's hearsay, and they see the kinds of customers that come in during my shift. They're starting to kind of get an idea. They were aunties too, so aunties know what you're doing, but they could never prove it. So what they started doing was just cutting my hours and having me be there less.
Yeah.
So I started doing that and working as a server, and also doing my street thing. And during all this, I was recording at this record label in Kaneohe called Tiki Entertainment.
Wow.
And I'd finished 2 albums by then.
Wow.
Wait, you wrote all this the whole time you sit on the bus. You wrote everything.
Yeah, that was my passion.
So
Like-
it was almost like it was meant to be, right? Like looking back now, it's almost like it was meant to be to get this shitty job, to write 4 hours a day, so you can actually write.
Yeah.
Like through
Yeah.
pain and suffering.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't get the same grit or have the same content I would have, because I lived through that bullshit. Like, sitting on a
that's
cold-ass
beautiful.
bus with chronics coming on, and or like homeless people, or it's just a wild experience, Getting chased by dogs, like begging for a ride to go up the hill,
Yeah.
it's
That's so beautiful, man.
Like a good parallel to it would be 8 Mile, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, 8 Mile, of course, like, you
Yeah.
know, you're just, as opposed to a lot of up and coming entertainment movies or shows that showcase how a rapper comes from nothing to something. Something like 8 Mile would be more, I would relate to more because it was a lot of regular work involved.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't hit the streets full blown and
Yeah.
become a tyrant or, you know,
Right,
become
right,
a
right.
big timer. It was really like, I'm just trying to get,
To survive.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and I want to be able to hit these big stages
Yeah.
or showcase my raps.
So back then, what was the dream? Like back then, you know, you're like, imagine you're probably early 20s or something.
Filling up the place, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You're always like, oh God, if I can get this gig, what would be like, oh my God. So what was that? What was that small dream looks like back then versus the dream you have today?
It's a little different. Excuse me. The dreams back then were very, very large.
Yeah.
Right? We want to run the world. I want to be the greatest rapper of all time. I want to, you know, I want to tour the universe. You know,
Yeah.
I want to do collaborations with so and so. And back then, it was really far fetched. And that's only because when I'm looking at something, I'm not looking at the work, it's getting from here to here.
Right.
I'm thinking one day somebody's gonna hear my record, and that one person is instantly gonna blow me up like magic.
Yeah.
Right,
Right?
right,
Like,
right.
oh, okay, he heard my record. Let me just put him on this Billboard chart, sign him up on these tours, and do this. And I didn't see the in betweens of 100 or 200 small shows,
Yeah.
or having to
Right.
shake hands and talk with every single fan
Yeah.
up until your point. You know,
Yeah.
I would always think there was some magical man that would appear and be like, "Okay, you made it."
Well, I think, I'm sorry, Johnny, but I think what you just said right now is like you and I can relate to this, right? Because
100%.
we're like business entrepreneur, and like we're always thinking this one person comes into Aroma Cafe and just love everything, go, and one post, one whatever, and our life would change. But you're so right on, though, because it's like it's the grind in between with the little hope that one day somebody that will discover how wonderful your music is. And I think for everybody listening out there, man, dude, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into, you know, and
Yeah.
then so as I'm older now, I think the things I like and would want are a lot more of what I really want.
Oh, I
you
want to
know?
hear them.
Well,
Chris,
I would like to
camera's not on, microphone's not on.
like. Oh yeah, I'm not I like this all day. You know?
Okay.
I
That's
would
what
like
he
to know
does.
what that is.
Like I told you, there's only one thing we're not touching today.
Botox. But can we talk about other things? We're not touching Botox, but can we talk about other things? You know?
No, you know, now I like a very simple thing, like be able to have my my entertainment company, have a decent amount of money, you know, having the what do you call that, like your
bare
bills
necessity.
paid,
Yeah,
you know,
your bare
and having
necessity paid.
not having the stress of having where the next income is gonna come. You know, I love the chase and I love it, but I don't need to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, I probably don't want to be a billionaire.
No.
I kind of enjoy the simple things.
Yeah.
You know, you'll never see Jeff Bezos surfing down Waikiki, you know?
Yeah.
And I like stuff like that. I
Yeah.
love cruising with the boys down at the beach or
Yeah.
or just hanging out and, you know what, I'm going to have a day of nothing.
Yeah.
Right? These guys have no day of nothing.
Yeah.
I
Right.
know that. I can tell that I'm pretty sure these guys every day have something stressful on their plate that, you know, they're losing hair over all the time.
I
So-
know they wish they are invisible. And it's
Yeah.
too late, right? And here we are, we're basically invisible beside our family and our our friends, but yet we have such fulfilled life.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
But
It's
back
so
then, I
imp-
wanted to be the
I know,
bomb,
but it's so
you know?
important for you to recognize because a lot of youngsters out there are dreaming fame and all this, and the reality lies is, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's not what all cracked up to be, you know? And it's an illusion anyway, you know?
Yeah.
It really is. By the end of the day, it's just, they don't know you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, back then it was So, but you know, coming up, you aim big, right? And
Yeah.
You land, you know, you shoot for the stars, land on a cloud. So, we had our record label. There was a little thing that went down for our record label. But so while that happened, I finally dropped my first solo album. So I dropped an album with my group, from high school called the Free Floors.
Thank you.
And that one did okay. You know, there wasn't really like the proper push for it. By the time my second album came out, I had already started a snowball effect of being at a lot of battles and starting to get recognition. You know, I tried to get as much attention as I could in the hip hop industry. And in the hip hop industry at the time for Hawaii, a lot of the townies ran it. You know, there's a lot of like underground hip hop groups from town, and not so much in the countries. You know, and then again, hip hop wasn't that big in the country at the time. People like listening to it. Nobody really decided to make their own music. So, you know, I would come out to town every weekend, find whatever hip hop event I could be at. I'm going to battle. I'm going to battle anybody and just constantly try and make a wave, you know? And I had this chip on my shoulder because a natural West Side thing is to have a chip on your shoulder. Like, you just can't help it. You think everybody's looking down on you.
Yeah.
You know, so I would come out here sometimes with the boys, and we just wreck shop as much as we could.
Yeah.
So by the time my second album came out, our label finally decided to put a solid push behind us, or behind me. You know, there was we ran around town, put up posters everywhere, because we didn't have social media back then.
Yeah.
I think
Posters.
we just had MySpace, so we did posters. But we thought, like, you know, for posters, a lot of times people just put up posters and you look and it's like, it's another promotion or another something, you know. So we had to stick out. We had to think out of the box. So what we did was we put up wanted posters.
Wow.
So we put wanted, had my face, and it said, for blowing up Hawaii.
Yeah.
And then I had the name of my album on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then so we got a lot of attention because people, you know, you drive by, you see a wanted poster, all of a sudden your attention just draws in, like, ooh, who's that?
Yeah.
Right?
Genius.
Yeah.
It's
Genius
brilliant.
marketing.
It's like
Yeah.
car accident. Oh, you want to stop because something bad happened. Most wanted is like, ooh, that guy is most wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was a little bit shaky because, you know, like, again, I'm in the streets, right? So if I'm around some real big dogs, it's like, I hope they're not trying. Yeah. I hope they're not trying to test me, dog. Like, so we did that. We had a monster lifted expedition, and they put a wrap on it with my face with the album.
Wow, they went big.
Yeah. Well, the owner already had a collection of lifted trucks, and he also had our old record label that we were at was it was a warehouse full with everything you needed to make it happen. There was a video
Wow.
production space. There was a large printers.
Can we give those guys some love? Because that business is really hard, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Can you mention their name? Because
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
Shout out Tiki Entertainment, Free Dogs. you know?
Yeah.
And that was everything was built in house. So we just took it all and just started pushing it. And by that time is when things started to really pick up for me, which was like 7-8 years later out of high school.
Wow.
Of constant like writing, recording with everybody, and I had found my niche as well, like, which was pidgin, right? Like, or localized rap. Like,
Right.
nobody really, and there was Bulaia, of
Yeah.
course,
Oh.
but Bulaia made more of a comedic route.
Yeah, it's
right?
more
It was-
satire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, I was like, no, I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
we will come and punch your face. You know, like, trying to like get that out there. So,
Right.
you know, I had a release party at Pipeline by that time, and
Back in the day, Kaka'ako, yeah?
yeah, Pipeline was the venue, man.
Yeah, that was the venue.
You could fit like 2,000 people in there, I think.
I
Or
saw
close,
Maticiao over
1,500.
there.
Who?
Maticiao.
Ooh, nice.
That was insane. It was packed.
Yeah, Pipeline was the
Yeah,
spot, you know.
That was the spot.
I think we did like a little over 1,000 people. Wow. And now for Hawaii hip hop, that's a lot.
Right.
You know, so we did this whole production and we did our show, and it doesn't stop from there. You know, from there you think like, oh, you feel good and like you think things are supposed to catch on. No, we had to constantly do press. You know, we did more little shows, which don't feel as good as that big show, right? Like, because that big show is like, yeah, it's all about me. But no, you have to open up for other guys and do a small venue with 200 because you can't stop moving.
Right.
And, yeah, we kept pressing on. And work-wise, during that, I was working at Papa John's and Hapa Grill, which was, I was a server. You know, I was looking for cash or whatever. And then during that promotion of that album, there was an opportunity to work at a radio station. You know, some things happened between my boy Spooks, who was my producer at the time, and the radio station. They had some kind of deal going on, and they're like, you know what, like, we want to offer you a job. They offered it to my producer. But he's not an entertainer like that. Like, he's not zany or whatever. And he's like, I don't want the job, but I got somebody who might want it. And then he offered me the job. So I got a job in radio, because radio is significantly better than working at a restaurant or a Papa John's.
100%.
Right? Like, it's like I have a little platform I can work off of.
Yeah.
By the way, I have no experience in radio.
What a cool guy, though, that he gave you the hookup, though.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my dog. Shout out Spooks. That's the guy right there. Grind Man. Yeah, like, so, I mean, yeah, he's like, you know, I'm not going to take the job. I'll see if I can give it to you. They gave it to me, and then that's when I left working, and I started working in the radio industry.
So how many years since you start, like, in high school until you actually, you know what, I'm finally have a job doing what I love after so many years of grinding? Like what's out?
I want to say, well, so knowing that I started at 14 years old in high school, right? Like, I started taking AV classes, which was audio visual production, right? So I would learn about sound,
Campbell.
video. No, in Nanakuli.
Nanakuli, okay.
Yeah. And video production, audio production, just any kind of content creation. So what everybody's doing now with creating content, this stuff I was trying to learn in high school because I wanted to do that. This is what I want. I wanted to entertain. I was raised by a television, if that makes any sense to you. Right? Like, grandma would plant me in front of the TV and go about her day.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll just watch TV all day. And all those sitcoms and all that was who I was raised by. I learned how to act. I learned the flow of TV shows. I learned how comedy can go into sadness and how intensity can go into drama. Like, all these little things, just because that's all I did was watch TV. And
that's so cool.
That's so beautiful. Yeah.
So as a kid, I've always loved entertainment. So from that point, from my first class, I got on radio 12 years later, which is
12-year grind until you get to the space. You go, finally.
Yeah.
Did you make enough money to live then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it took 12 years.
Yeah. And this is barely live. This is not like
Yeah.
I'm into investing. This is like, I'm out of grandma's house. I'm living in my own bedroom, renting in somebody's house in town. You know, like,
no, because a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, every one of us, like, I have a real, I mean, I don't know about you, Jonathan, but for me, when I started Kakoa, I had a really false expectation. You know, we're going to be we're going to be six, and I go, until you get into it, you're like, oh my God, you know, the 10,000 hour, have you heard about the 10,000?
Mastery, yeah.
Yeah, so it's true. It really does take 10,000 hours for you to get to that baseline where you deserve to have anyone to listen to you.
Yeah.
Right? And it really does. I mean, but for anybody listening out there, it's a 5 to 10 year, 5 to 7, 10 year out is about 10,000 hours of really grinding on your craft.
You got to put in the time.
Yeah. But
you got to be able to do it without YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Like, you can't be like, oh, let me YouTube this.
Yeah.
You got to be able to just off the hip, okay, I got this.
Yeah, but I think what you said earlier was so powerful. It was like, dude, I mean, it was like, holy crap. I was like, I've been doing this I've had all these jobs, even the big gig, a pipeline, and still, you still got to grind, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think the grind continues until finally the radio station will bring you there. And for me, it's all different than you, and I think it's so important that, look, don't kid yourself. If you want to make it on anything, woo,
you gotta eat that shit.
Yeah,
you gotta eat shit for the time, bro.
Don't touch the boat toe.
But eat shit.
Yeah, eat shit though.
You gotta eat shit.
You gotta eat shit though.
Eat a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
That's gonna get taken out of context.
Yeah. But it's so true though. I mean, I totally feel you. Even though you're an entrepreneur in your own way as a musician, for us as businessmen, it's the same shit.
Yeah, and I'm inspired by, you know, I read about you guys before coming in here, and I'm thoroughly impressed with what you guys where you guys have come from. I didn't know that you really started off like as a salesperson at International Marketplace, being one of
You
those
know that.
guys. You're one of those guys. Yeah. I
in
was
those
like,
fucking booths,
shit,
right?
yeah.
Come over here, buy this shit.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. Hey, aloha. Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I would see, and that kind of stress like would tap most people out. They'd just be like, "Oh, I can't do this."
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to work 14 hours a day, 6 days a week.
My god!
Yeah.
And I mean,
I did that for about 9 months straight until my wife said, "You got to take a day off." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
wow! I mean, what was? Sorry, I don't mean to take
No,
it
no,
up.
no, it's good, it's good.
Because I'm curious. Like,
Yeah, please.
what was the plan back then? Like when you were out there like doing those long days.
You know, before I moved to United States, I actually had someone. I was a bartender. He sat on the bar and he told me most of the people that move to America, they want to be a millionaire. They move there and they want to be fast millionaire. Don't make the same mistake like everybody else. Take a year, work your ass off, then you'll be smarter. I said, but why? He says, just work 1 year, work your ass off, and by the end of the year, well, you will have money, you will be smarter, you have more experience, then you can decide how to tackle the next step. So when we were working back then, hustling tourists, just
I love your honesty. I love your. 'Cause that's what we do, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you want
International
that
market.
Yeah, it is.
as long as I didn't put parrot on people on the shoulder,
You're okay.
I'm okay.
You're okay.
That's the line.
How's your ears?
I never crossed. I never crossed the parrot line.
Yeah. Okay.
I sold products, man,
Yeah.
and I made people happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it seems to be a common thing. Like I have another friend who's a Chinese guy, a very successful business guy here as well. And I asked him the same thing. What did you start? And he's like, I worked in the back of a L&L for 3 years, and I'm just grinding. It doesn't happen magically.
Yeah. Kris, we're fairly young to this podcast, but I can tell you, without a shadow of doubt, everyone who sat here and the guests we have are so blessed and lucky to have them. They're tremendous success in their own field. And every single one of them, don't you think John said the same shit? Grind.
Gotta put in the time.
Grind.
Yep.
And the no is not a no. The no is a maybe. Grind. And if you don't truly love it, you better fucking quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you're right on course. I think what you're saying is just so on course.
Yeah. I remember the guy that owned our record label way back in the day. His name is Doug, Uncle Doug. He would always tell us every time we'd come in, we'd be shocked, right? We just like, man, you have all this success, you have this warehouse and these lifted trucks, and seems like you're doing really good. Like you're the man or whatever. Like you're the boss. And every time he would tell us, he's like, no, I'm the janitor. I'm literally the janitor. When anybody asks what I do,
Love him.
I'm the janitor, because he has to
Love
clean
him.
up all the shit for everybody, right? Like, so somebody makes this mistake,
Yeah.
you got to go pick that up or fix this. Like, you're the janitor.
Yeah, because it's true. Because the buck stopped with you about the music you put out, and everybody's involved in your team. The buck stopped with Jonathan with Aroma Cafe. It doesn't matter who did it, and the bucks end with us.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's the accountability that help us to get better, right? But without it, we would never be where we are.
Yeah.
You got to take everything. You own it, 100%.
Yeah.
Gotta own it.
Yeah.
And your first show was on 94, right?
Yeah, it was on 93.9, which formerly was I-94. When I was there, it was Hot 93.9. And I was on that show for about 2 or 3 years doing the nights. Now I'm fresh, okay? Like I'm literally a young boy from Nanakuli, no experience in radio, just all of a sudden here, do a night show, good luck,
Yeah.
So I know what I'm doing when it comes to talking and entertaining.
Yeah.
I just wasn't ready for the lifestyle. The
Oh.
lifestyle of radio involved, at that time, a lot of partying and a lot of drinking. Like a lot of the people in the music industry at that time were heavy partiers. And so, I was living in Nanakuli still. I was doing the night show. We would get these gigs at nightclubs. So I had like 4 or 5 nightclub gigs a week. I would, get off my radio show at midnight, go to the club, do the club till 2, and all this time we're partying. Then from there, if you're partying with the owners or the promoters, the people that are paying you, well, you're not gonna stop. You're having a good time. You're building a relationship. So we'd go till 4 a.m. Sometimes it'll go longer. You'll find some karaoke room that's open till like 6. And then I would drive home to Nanakuli every night, sleep throughout the day, get back up at like 3 in the afternoon, go back to work, and that was my grind.
Wow.
Which is to most people it's fun, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a blast. I made many mistakes that people would love to make. This girl was a mistake. That idea was a mistake, and it still was a grind, and it took a toll on me. When I look back and I look at I looked as of recently, like I looked at my physical insides.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I got beat up. Doing plenty drugs and drinking will fuck you up.
Yep.
100%.
But you're invisible at the time, right?
Right.
So like.
Yeah, you're in your 20s too. So
yeah, so it's like let's go. You know what I mean? Like fucking whiskey dick. What is that?
Go tell you. No, it's true. 'Cause as men, in our 20s, we're invincible.
Yeah.
In the 30s, we begin to.
It starts creeping on you little by little. Like,
But it's a beautiful process, though, isn't it?
Yeah. And
don't you find that your music's better now?
Oh, yeah. I love my music more now, and I feel like it has a lot more longevity. When I listened to the music back then, you know what? A lot of the songs, I have a hard time performing.
Wow.
Because it's so intense. It was a very angry person that made those.
Yeah.
A very competitive and very almost vengeful person.
Well, because you're trying to come up in the world, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to break through
But
the crack. That's
the
normal.
theme was protest. The theme was, what was the theme that you said was so harsh?
The harsh, like for instance, one song which is Bloodline, which is like very scrappy. It's almost near yelling. And it's one of the most popular songs I've ever done. Like this is like every time I see people, it's either like Bloodline or West Side or whatever. They'll bring up Bloodline. It's like my old school fans, and it's just intense.
Just give us a couple bars,
I don't.
please.
Well, okay.
Come on, just a couple bars.
Let's see.
It's
I
a
forget
little
how
Friday.
it was. Yeah.
It's Friday.
Well, I'll give you the bars without the screaming.
Yeah,
You know,
please.
because it was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
intense.
No need to
Let's
scream.
see,
Yeah, no
what
need to
was it?
scream.
How does it go? I can't deny it. I'm fucking Hawaiian. None of y'all can beef with me. Motherfucker got the streets with me. So you best just believe in me. Now who's the first fuckers to go nuts? Hopping, hollering, so what? Fuck, it's been a long time. I'm trying to figure it out.
No, it's good enough.
Go nuts, hopping, hollering, so
No,
That's
but-
like 12 years ago, huh?
Bruh, well, I made that song in like 2002.
Yeah.
So that's what,
18
18 years
years
ago?
ago.
Yeah, but you gotta think, Nanakuli, the West Side, your environment. What I love about it, what I'm hearing, is really truth. That's how you felt at the moment in time.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I love about music.
And I think that's why people attract to it, because for those people who listen to that and come from the West Side or any other side of all the Hawaiian Islands, gonna relate to that.
Yeah, and that's what I love about music. It really encapsulates a solid moment, you know. Like, Landon McNamara's "Lost for Words" is a prime example, right? When the Paris bombings were happening, like, and even even though the song only references that moment, that will last forever.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it's scrappy bars like for hollering, so what? Fuck me, no, fuck you. What else did I say?
You were ready for scrap.
Now your blood got you coughing, and I'ma fucking beat you till you fall. See, we the type to breed fighters from a young age. When the thrusting uppercuts feel like my fucking grenades. We ride nighttime. We ride nighttime. With what? With squads of my kind. Watch one side blind will pause your lifeline. Make you shake until you quiver till we taking off our slippers. Scared shook, seen that we gon' beef you barefoot. Try to mob us when we party. Don't think that we play around. Guaranteed, you see more swings in the playground. That's the truth. Please try us. We'll fight to the end. We are the true street fighters. Fuck Ryu and Ken. Cause I'm a Hawaiian G from. I'm a Hawaiian G. By heart, so ride with me. I fight for them, they fight for me. Die for them, they die for me. So try and see. Yeah. Like,
Can I look at your ears real quick? That was so fucking beautiful. That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful.
That's what's up, man.
oh
Yeah.
That's
my
what's up.
God,
But
Kris.
it's intense, right? It's like
Yeah.
a lot of like
Yeah.
aggressiveness.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's remember 4-hour bus ride. This
Yeah.
is this is the
But wait,
journey.
now your
yeah.
No,
now,
but-
now your lyrics are more like loving, compassionate, more embracing.
Growing, you know.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I'm more like so. One thing about a lot of local people I learned, well, for myself, and I think a lot of local people relate. We were raised with almost like a crab in a bucket mentality,
Yeah.
and this mentality stems from. When I look at it, I always look at it like it's a challenge. You know, when somebody tell me, "Ah, you shitty," I always look at that person. Yeah, fuck you. Watch.
Yeah.
Watch. You know, and then that drives me more.
Yeah.
The negative
You know?
reinforcement.
Yeah. So and it's almost like you know, like how when you get cut, and then you know you have a little dry blood.
Yeah.
Calluses over, cut again, same place, dry blood, callus over. The more you get hurt in a certain place, the thicker the callus. And I feel like that's what I had growing up. Is a lot of this negativity and this crab in a bucket mentality would just make you stronger and stronger. And I still have that rooted in me. So when I'm talking to somebody, it may be a little harsh in the music now. It still may feel a little harsh. I'm not trying to baby nobody because these kids nowadays, I feel like, you know, with the participation trophies and you know, like I feel like that takes away the drive to do something,
Right.
You know,
The grit.
Yeah, as opposed to like, okay, when you get hit, fight back. When you get hit back. When you get pushed back, run forward, push forward. Now it's like, you get hit, never mind.
Go
All right,
rest.
clear. Yeah, go rest. Yeah, you know, like I feel like a lot of that's missing nowadays, and you know, I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't have children, but that's what I feel like made our generation special. You know, like we knew, like, okay, if we didn't die, we can go again.
Yeah.
You know, these words, they're just words. You know,
Right.
they hurt your feelings, but we still gonna press on. It's not gonna stop us. You know.
Your new group called Angry Locals,
Yeah.
and you do that with two. Who is your two other guys?
Yeah, two other guys now. Our third guy, he had moved on and he had traveled the world. Did like a travel business, and I'm a little bit envious of him. Like smart, bruh, because he had a travel business, and you know, he would do travel tours. So basically, you like come with me, pay me for come with you,
Yeah.
right? Like that's brilliant. I was like, oh, people paying in to travel. So there's three of us, yeah, me, Big Mox, and O Snizzle, and me and Big Mox, he was my competitor at battling when I first came up. So when I first came to town. And I told you guys we had to always want to compete with people. At the same time, he was there. So the very first battle I did at Pipeline, there was, I think, 36 MCs. And it was a huge event, like $1,000 battle. And that's where we first met. And we fucking roasted each other. I felt like I won. He actually won. I think he knows I won that one, but he's not going to tell you that. But we would end up at all these battles, and we'd always end up at the finals.
Yeah.
You know, and since then we became best friends. You know,
That's
we
so
would test
beautiful.
each other's armor. I would assume it's the same like jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
Like you know, you practice with somebody, they tap you, you tap them, and you know, 5-10 years down the line, all of a sudden YouTube could tap the world, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
very
mean-
similar because the closeness we got is through the battling. You know, it's that going in hard, and at the end we hug each other, and like this deep sense of respect when we're done.
Yeah.
And that connection you have will last forever because that moment in time, I call it a moment of truth because that's what it was, right? That moment of truth where you really go all in. That's you leave everything on the line between the two, and by the end there's a deep respect because at the end I go, wow, I expand your truth in music and lyrics, and you expand his, and that's the deep love and respect you come out of it, and that's a beautiful thing, right?
What I never understood though, when you go battle, right?
Yeah.
Is it freestyle? No. I mean, you do have some like, I would say paragraphs, you know, ready to
Yeah.
go, right?
Yeah.
So it's not all like fucking.
So back in the day, it was freestyle. It was off the top freestyle. That's what I call freestyle. Like
Yeah,
you come
off
in
the top.
off the top.
Yeah.
Like you just
Yeah, bam, bam, bam.
yeah. So back in the day, it used to be like that, where you'd show up. You'd have some things they call they would call them either pre-written or premeditated. For instance, I always go to battles knowing, okay, well, I'm a bigger guy. They're going to go after my weight. I have chinky eyes. They're going to go after that. I have sexy ears.
Yes, you do.
So I know these things that they're going to go for. So
That's right.
So I would have what they call premeditated rebuttals.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I already know you're going to go there, so I have something for whoever says this. It had evolved since. So with the evolution of YouTube and a lot of video production, it started turning less into what you could do off the top to more quality content is what I think. So you would come in, let's say I know I was battling Dewey for 3 rounds, right? I know Dewey, okay. I would sit home, write 3 1-minute rounds, practice them, memorize them.
Yeah.
And then your performance, since it's going to be forever online, has to be the most top-notch performance. You know, so in freestyles, you have a lot of mistakes and a lot of stumbles and mumbles, as opposed to on video now, when you watch a whole battle, everything's crisp and clean. So battles nowadays are different. They're pre-planned, and you come in ready with like verses.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not so much off the top skills anymore.
Yeah.
But they do still carry some during these battles, you know. But it's not
Even in 8 Mile, I mean, Eminem had it. You know, he wrote it in his book. He had like
Yeah.
couple of paragraphs already ready. So
Yeah, he
it
was
wasn't
ready.
like freestyle.
Yeah. But
That's
freestyle's
how-
the magic, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's hard though. You got to
Yeah.
come, you know, on the spot and
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's sharpening your sword, right? The more you do it, the better you become. So
Damn, Samurai is talking over here. Hello. Let's go.
yeah.
So are you guys performing in town?
As of right now, since you know,
I mean, COVID.
the era,
Yeah,
the
the
COVID
era.
Not right now. We actually have taken a break from just everything. We all had our own professions we were working on. Osnizo was a DJ, so
Yeah,
and
he
then-
played at my place several times. I love this guy.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah.
You know, and he's also our producer, so he
Oh,
does
for
all our
real?
music, does a majority of our videos. He produced the West Side video.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so, and then Big Mox, he's a teacher. You know, he's an instructor, and he helps kids with learning their art form and performance
Wow.
arts. And yeah, and then I was doing radio. So we all were just trying to solidify our lanes. We do music once in a while as like a passion thing. And then this year, since COVID, we're able to like, okay, double down and finish a whole lot of projects.
Yeah.
So we have this freestyle thing we do on the radio every Friday, where we do a freestyle about what happened throughout the week.
And that's on which channel?
93.1, High 93. So, and which is good. We have a platform to put hip hop into radio, you know, and we also get to talk about anything we want. So like,
Nice.
you know, we did one of them we did. Let's see, we did the stimulus check. One of them we talked about a certain governor 2022 governor candidate.
Yeah.
Who, you know, had a picture floating around of him inside of a bar. And we freestyled about that, you know.
That's the best.
Yeah, so.
I was cracking up. It's like it's very comical.
Yeah,
Like I was
Yeah.
cracking up. I'm listening to you guys, and it's just
yeah, it's radio, that's why, yeah. For radio, you gotta be, it has to be funny. Can't
Yeah.
get too serious
yeah.
and whatnot. So we save all the serious stuff for our music. And then so early next year, we'll be dropping an album called Local Legends.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Hey, looking back at your life now, you know, for the last, God knows how many, 14 to 32, 18 years, right? 18 years, right? Who do you pay homage to? Who do you look up to? Who do you really give your respect? You know, without these wonderful human beings, that you would not be where you are today. Because I think all of us, I mean, until we show deep gratitude, you know, for those who actually, I call those tipping point. Every single time it change our life direction, you know, and it's so important for us as we grow older as men or human being. Gratitude and appreciate those relationships will allow us to give more to others.
Yeah.
You know? What do you think?
Well, there's one person who's very dear to me. He was my producer in the very beginning.
Yeah.
I had met him, I think, like when I was in high school, and I was rapping. He's from Kaneohe. His name is Spooks. I had talked about him
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah, Spook, you gotta come on. We
Yeah.
gotta get Spook
Yeah.
on. Spook, you're coming
Yeah.
next.
Samson Malani is his real name. But he, we had met when we were young.
Yeah.
And we both had a affinity for hip hop. Him being from Kaneohe, me being from Nanakuli, it's like East meets
East and West.
So like in the beginning, we were
Cali
just
and New York.
Yeah, and we were talking about rap and just like we're just going off at it, back and forth. Like, oh, okay, this guy loves what I love, And since then, he's produced my albums. But he's like kind of like my life mentor, Like he's just a solid brother with he always has aloha and always willing to share. And the most important, like even if it's mana'o that you would think would be like top secret, like things that you wouldn't want, like if you were if you were the colonel for KFC and you don't want to give up your fucking spices and whatever's, he would just give it to you. He'll share any mana'o he has. And
I think that low hour needs Spooks.
yeah,
he is
should.
the low hour.
Yeah, he is the
That's
guy.
awesome. That's
And-
so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's such a space thinker. Like he thinks so far ahead, and he's a dreamer. And I think a lot of that, like I reflect off of a lot of that.
Yeah.
I get a lot of my personality from that, and a lot of my drive from that.
I truly believe deep inside that the world needs more dreamers. Because as we moving toward this chaos time in the world, we need more dreamers. Because dreamers provide hopes and provide the possibility of what could be and what is.
Yeah.
Spook, thank you. You got to come on, Spook.
You can check him out at Grindman.
Yeah, Grindman.
Grindman.
That's the guy.
Well, let me ask you this: you literally know all the artists in town, And last time we talked with Anuhea, she was sharing with us how hard it is for the artists during this time since they don't have anywhere to perform, no income. Really hard to get those grants from the state.
Yeah, was it the PUA?
Yeah. Well, that, and then there's another one, but you have to have a brick and mortar address, and because you're an artist, you don't really have like a storefront, so you're not qualifying for that. So tell me kind of your take of what's going on right now in town with the artists. I mean, how are they suffering?
Immensely. Yeah, they're suffering immensely.
How do you guys
and
survive?
It's tough.
How do you stay mentally positive?
For the artists, luckily they're artists,
Yeah.
right? So they're able to have a strong imagination and,
The dreamers.
at least, think their way away from the pain and the struggle or whatever. And I know a lot of them right now are doing like smaller gigs and whatnot. They're trying to figure out. I mean, they're hoping things can open. We tried complaining in the beginning, right? As soon as the mayor shut down all the venues, we're like, we did a freestyle about it. We're trying to push it every morning, like on how important it is to have arts and music during a time of pain and struggle like this. But I think, with every conflict or every wall, there's an opportunity. So there is an opportunity for something major. We're just, I guess, they're waiting, or somebody's going to come up with it. Everybody's simmering right now, and there's a big opportunity to, I don't know, break out. I feel like
innovation's about to happen.
I
hear you.
Somebody should go on top the roof of a building. Can they shut us down if we're on the top of a roof? Not selling any money or just, I don't know what it is, but there needs to be something, because during these times without the arts, I understand the gatherings, keep people safe, even though I personally think that's bullshit. Like, I think that not having the gatherings is to, limit conversations and connections between people. There has to be something that we can work around. And I think somebody's simmering on it.
I'm talking about, let's talk about Osna, for example, right?
Yeah.
The guy is like a resident DJ here and there, and all the parties and radio and this. And he is wanted everywhere. Suddenly, there's no parties.
Yeah.
The guy wakes up in the morning. What are you going to do?
So
you need to pay the rent. You need to pay your food. You need to pay insurance. You need to pay all those things. What are you guys doing?
Fortunate for us, we're all hustlers.
Yeah.
We all found different things that we can do to make money to survive. Osna, in his case, he's a producer.
Yeah.
Right off the gate, that's his root, right?
Yeah.
He started all of this stuff that he had grown into is all rooted in producing music, having a studio, recording artists, making music, and selling all these services. So I don't know his personal business, but I'm assuming that's where his root is, and that's where he went back to.
Of course,
You know?
I'm talking more general, like all the DJs, like all the musicians. Imagine how many people play at the Dukes, at the
Yeah.
Hula Grill, come bring their guitar. Suddenly, nothing.
Yeah, nothing. I don't know where these artists are. If you notice, there's a lot less music being released. People can't afford to go to studios to get production done. I mean, like, it's been a nice little slowdown of things, and that's the shitty part about all this. And that's why I try to figure out different ways. I like for me, for instance, I'm trying to. Well, fuck. I'll tell you guys off air. Like, I just realized I was like, wait,
That's okay.
What about the other radio station listen to this? And they get more leverage out. Like, oh, okay, maybe not.
No, but just out of curiosity, why they don't take the Kapiolani Park, for example, divide it into 6 feet of squares like they did in freaking Europe,
Anywhere. Yeah.
and just do an event?
Yeah.
It's
An
for
outdoor
us,
event.
but it's also for the artists to get paid. And if you guys not going to go and perform, you're going to get shittier and shittier because you need to have, you need to be.
But us as consumers,
By the time we come back.
need this though. Me as a just human being, we need to get out and listen to music and dance and connect with human beings and hug and whatever, so we can feel like we're alive.
Yeah,
and this whole thing, I don't know. I mean, Kala yesterday, he's depressed, and I'd be a liar if I feel like I am off center for sure. And part of the reason I realized, like, human being, we're social species, right?
Yeah.
And for the first time, we're not allowed to be our natural self. And that caused a tremendous consequence to who we are.
Especially for our
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, for our children. I feel sad for our children, and I think you're right, man. I think do something like that and get everybody out in the open and create a safe space and just dance and just hug and laugh. We'll change the world right now. We'll lift all of us up. Music's the only thing that I know that can shift you this to this in one note.
Yeah,
Right?
I agree.
Right. And it's so powerful. And we're not those goddamn politicians.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I feel like there's gonna be some kind of uproar
Yeah.
that has to happen, and I think I may be dreaming, but I would assume it's gonna happen soon. Because again, you can only push people back for so long.
Right.
And especially local people, right? Like,
Yeah, I know.
fuckers don't give no fuck.
I know. I want to know, though, Kris, how do you stay inspired and positive right now as a musician? Because there's a lot of musicians out there who's in your shoes, and I'm sure they're going to want to know what you're doing.
So for me personally, I'm not like, my passion is in the creation. That's my favorite part of this whole artist journey I'm on. My favorite part is hearing the beat, writing the song, recording the song, and having it mixed down, and putting headphones on, and then just soaking myself in the music. So for me, in that sense, it's actually been the best thing.
Okay.
Because no more distractions.
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
have
you
to go
can
hustle or do
indulge.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the introvert at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
100%. So for me, like, it's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks for me financially because there's no gigs and there's no large parties that I can go do or whatever. But on the creative sense, that's my happy space. So I just go back to my happy space. For other artists, I don't know. Some of the artists love performing.
Yeah.
So
They're extrovert.
and that's why they want to
They need
get
the
anywhere
energy
they
from
can.
the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
For you, it's the solace alone creative.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so
so
beautiful, man.
It's been very. I've made more songs this year than I have in the past 3-4 years.
You want to give the audience a little tease what's coming around the corner?
I mean, I could.
You could. You can. You can play any song on there. We'll give a little 30 second.
30 seconds.
Or 15-second tease.
Oh God, I don't know what to play.
I don't know. Whatever you want, man.
I'm going to give you some beatbox.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the. Let's see. Where am I? Here, let's see. What's a good one? Okay, let's try to do some Angry Locals.
Ooh.
Just a little something.
Sneak peek.
Ooh, a sneak peek. First time ever. Even out here, I didn't want to give any sneak peek of her work.
Little exclusive. It's called the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
to the walls, no scared, I'm rush 'em, dog. Go get 'em like shopping Amazon, fuck 'em all. Nobody know better than you about what you want. If you worry about somebody else's cheddar, fuck you on. Stupid fuckers like think that I do it out of spite, please. The truth is that list like a few dozen guys deep. Fired so many shots I can't remember who doesn't like me or whose cousin might be related to the guys that I ruined from rhymes being true by my speech. Rivers they have cried me, even crucified me, and still I refuse to slow my speed. You just never mind me while I'm doing my thing.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Oh my
Hi,
God!
John. Yeah.
Listen, we can be here for another 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. Like I had such a good
Wait,
time, man.
but I have a very important question. It's
please,
a personal
go,
question.
Please go.
Ooh,
Please
okay.
go.
Okay, so I love the morning show with, used to love the morning show with Keola and Rella.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you joined them, you actually elevated the show tremendously as far as when you were on the show, right?
Yeah.
And then you and Rella leave, get your own morning show, and Keola, it becomes the Keola show.
Yeah.
And then he adds someone new and Fat Joe, and trying to mimic what you three already did a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
Yeah. Well, the plan was for myself and from what I experienced.
Because I know you were before also producing the Keola and Rella, right?
Yeah.
You were okay.
So I was producing their show.
And that was the top morning show for
Yeah.
many years. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Top.
Yeah,
okay.
it was tons of fun. From there, I had an opportunity to have my own show on High 93. You know, they had talked about doing a brand flip, and they needed somebody. And, you know, for me, I had like I was like, oh, well, it's an opportunity to have my own creative space. And also the money's better. So I was like, you know, I'll do it. Like, it wasn't a second thought for me. I enjoyed the doing the show at Keola and Rella, but opportunity came.
Yeah.
Like, the bottom line was when working for that show, I had hit a ceiling financially. They couldn't pay me anymore.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like, I'm like, all right, well, in this place, the ceiling's significantly higher. So I'm like, okay, well, I want to go where the ceiling is higher. I don't like ceilings, you know? Like, I want to break them all. Like, right? Like, so
Me and him live in that world. We don't believe in ceilings. Life, the ceiling is when you take your last breath.
Yes.
That's the ceiling.
They close the
No, it's
door.
true. No, seriously, for real. Last breath is our ceiling.
Yeah.
There's no ceiling.
And that's, you know, I didn't, you know, that's why I had the opportunity to go. I went, you know, and so amidst that time, I was actually looking for talent. I'd actually reached out to a bunch of social media people looking for talent, which radio is a different beast. You know, social media is one thing, but radio is a strictly audio-based thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so, you know, as I'm screening a whole bunch of people, there was an opportunity to see if they wanted to see if Rella wanted to come. Because when we had done fill-ins without Keola on the show, we had great chemistry.
Yeah.
Like, because we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people don't know that we've known each other for like 10 years behind
Wow.
that. We wasn't best friends, but
Yeah.
we know each other. We're cool. And then she jumped to it too. So that was it. And so we moved on over. And then from there, I had to, you know, I had to train the new guys coming in on what to do and this and that. And
How hard is it to start a new radio, you know, show?
holy fuck, it is
'Cause-
bananas.
Because you went into the, you know, the hardest, the toughest, most challenging time to
Yes.
go into radio. And not necessarily because of Corona. I'm talking about you went into a space where you have to fight 98.5, the morning
Yes.
crew, which are, you know, right
Oh,
there
yeah.
at the top.
They're the pinnacle. That's the goal.
You
know?
have Keola
Yep.
right there. And I'm sure there's at least another show that is pretty good in the morning.
Yep.
And you went into that space and you said, okay, well, I go with the big fish.
Yeah.
And
No fucks given, dog. I said, you know what I mean? Full send, you know what I mean? I see them like,
Let's go!
yeah, I see a challenge, you know what I mean? Like,
Let's go!
people see a giant, I see a bigger fall. I'm like, all right, let's go, you know? So I'm like, you know, and I actually, I went in with the plan. I have a plan. Plan's working so well so
Yeah.
far. The only thing shitty is we did start when it was COVID.
Yeah.
So we can't do events. We can't
Right.
do any extra promotional shit. can't even.
Just wait.
Yeah,
But
we-
also, a lot of people don't drive to work in the morning.
Yeah.
and which is your main crowd. The people driving in the morning,
Right.
those are the people that listen to you. If they don't have to work, they don't wake up early. Fuck, you just lost like 80% of the people that listen to the radio in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, so
100%.
So it's an uphill battle, but not something I'm afraid of. Like I
Yeah.
know these guys. I know Keola, I know Rory, and I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not afraid. And the best part about it all is none of them gonna talk shit about me. You know what I mean? Like you have other guys that come into the morning show game and like people start roasting them.
Yeah.
This guy's
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like nah. They all know what's up. They know I came to play.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna
Being
be
6'10" and 200, 180 pounds doesn't fucking hurt either.
With the sexiest ears in
Yeah,
the game, bro. What you
yeah,
know
yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
But honestly, every time I open my morning, I drive my kids to. I used to drive my kids to school. I used to hear you laugh. It just totally changed my day.
Yeah.
From waking up stressful, running around, trying to drop off my kids, go back to work, and so on. Suddenly, I hear your laugh, and it just. Fuck yeah, let's laugh.
Right?
Yeah, I mean it's
Like,
so.
fuck it, you know
yeah,
what I mean?
fuck it.
Ain't nothing
It's
wrong. Like,
infectious.
Yeah, his laugh is.
Well, his
special.
hug makes me super happy. Because honestly, you walk in the room, I don't know you at all, and like here you are, tie-dye shirts, right? Chinky eye, delicious ears, and then you give me the best hug, and there's a smile came, and I feel like, oh my God, behind this big giant man is this sweetheart of a bear.
100%.
Yeah.
Kris Stylez has
Yeah.
the hugest heart ever.
Yeah.
Well, look, we gonna ask you 5 what would you rather questions.
Ooh, okay, let me get ready.
I hope you are ready.
Yeah.
All right. Kris Stylez,
Yes.
what would you rather? Have the voice of Sylvester Stallone or the voice of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Ooh. Stallone all day.
Yeah.
Stallone, yes. Stallone, yes.
Wake up the
Really?
people in the mornings.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Huh?
He's Rambo, man.
Yeah, I know. How you doing?
Say less.
All right. What would you rather? Never be able to laugh on the radio again or never be able to play good music on the radio again?
Oh. Would I rather not laugh on the radio or not play good music?
Yeah.
Whew. Some of the music we play is questionable, so. I'm just saying, you guys ever heard Savage Love? Fucking shit, man.
It's savage.
Yeah, I gotta laugh on the radio. I
Gotta laugh on the radio.
That's
That's who you are. That's your
Yeah.
essence. That's
have
a
a good
gift
time.
from God, bro. That's a gift from God.
Are you ready? What would you rather? Have a foot-long nose or a foot-long tongue?
Woo!
Take the tongue. Take
Take
the tongue.
that. All right, I'm a full long tongue,
Yeah, your
baby.
girlfriend would say yes, I know. Without the ears and the tongue, bro, you're gonna be in porn.
What are you gonna do with a foot long nose?
Yeah.
Now, this is a question that we wrote without knowing that you worked at Papa John's. We didn't know. You told it to us, okay?
No, seriously.
What would you rather? Change your name to Little Caesar or to Papa John's?
Oh, Papa John's all day, baby. Shout out to my man Quan.
Yeah. His name is Quan.
Yeah, Quan is the I think he's the regional
The
manager.
regional
That's my
manager.
man though. Like he believed in me.
Yeah.
Right on.
Vietnamese guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 100%.
And our last question.
Good man, Quan. You're smart.
Our last question. What would you rather? Get an 808 neck tattoo or the Tyson tribal tattoo on your face?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
808, you.
I don't know, man.
Wow, not a coolie boy.
Yeah,
Come
but
on.
neck tattoos for local brothers is such a thing. It's almost the equivalent of having your last name on your back. It's like everybody's got one, right? Like right here.
Okay, all right.
And I don't like 808. I think 808's so
Overplayed.
Yeah.
I know, but we're proud
shit.
though.
That Tyson tattoo is pretty tapped.
You
Tell me
heard it
not.
here first. Aloha hour.
I'm trying to.
It's gonna look good, bro.
You would? You think so? Like
Yeah,
No,
100%.
no, it's gonna cover the ears.
No,
Yeah,
it's
no,
gonna
It's
look
gonna
good.
take no, it's gonna
Accentuate
take
the
away
ears.
from the ears.
Accentuate the ears.
Nah, not even. We're gonna look at that ink versus the ears, man. I'm telling you.
Bro,
Ears
I'm
wake
doing the
up.
eye. I'm doing a Tyson. I'm
He's
doing
doing the Tyson.
I cannot do
And-
it. Wait.
Okay.
And before we're going to let you go, Kris Stylez, we have a little gift for you. As angry locals and, you know, all your path and how you love Hawaii and how you support Hawaii and represent Hawaii, my brother Mana from M Woods, check him out at M Woods on Instagram. Woods, by the way, with Z, and he made you he made you
Oh, man.
Oh,
For real?
for real.
Holy shit.
Put it next
That's
to
what's
your ear.
up.
Put it next to your ear.
Oh, we can get the side profile. Oh, this is beautiful.
just to show your
You're
appreciation.
beautiful, fucker.
Oh, thank you so
Hawaii
much,
loves
man.
you, man.
Dude, I love you.
We love your show.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
you guys. Thank you guys.
And
And
thank you
for
so
all the
much for
manao,
coming
man.
in.
I appreciate
Nah,
that.
not
Thank you,
even.
man. Thank you.
Holy cow.
Thank you, everybody,
Thank you,
for
bro.
watching this episode. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think, and down below in the comments. We love you. Have a nice weekend. I love you, Dewey. I love you,
Love
Brett.
you too.
I love you, Kris
Love
Stylez.
everyone.
Thank you, bro.
Wow.
All right.